Hey beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Rochelle, and on my channel we talk about locks to self-care to personal development and everything in between. And y'all, for the past few months we've been breaking down everything about the lock journey, from the starter methods to styling to maintenance and the real talk that nobody wants to talk about. Okay, so today's video, okay, we are talking about the difference between micro locks versus sister locks. What's the difference? Which one is right for you? So grab a notebook, whatever you need. So what are micro locks? Micro locks are small locks that can be started with twists, braids, or interlocking. I've seen some people start at free forms and then they go in and just make it small. They're just more flexible. You can DIY them or you can go to a loctician. They gave you the look of sister locks without the trademark system, which I'll talk more about, right? So if you're someone who's experimenting or experimental, micro locks, they let you retwist, once a month, interlock the next month, and they will keep your grid looking neat. It's really up to your choice, right? Now, what are sister locks? Okay, sister locks, they are a trademark system. Okay, the installation pattern is planted with like a specific grid and planted tools, and only certified consultation people can really do them, to be honest. Now there are some people who have micro locks and they consider them sister locks, but the installation of sister locks is completely different from the traditional lock or micro locks, right? They are lightweight, they're uniform, and they're very super versatile for styling. Like, don't let people fool you, okay? Sister locks, they are very versatile. So if you're looking for something more polished, a constant look that grows with you, sister locks, they are like the luxury, as I said, brand of locks. Okay, and when I say luxury, you're gonna understand why I say that, because let's get into installation and cost. Okay, micro locks, because they are more flexible, right? You can start them yourself. You can go to a loctician and get them started. These locks are going to be lower in cost, right? And that's because of the flexibility when it comes to installation. You can do them at home or you can go with a loctician. Whereas sister locks, y'all, yeah, these bad boys, they are going to cost you. Okay, they are at a higher cost because the installation process does take longer. That's because they are using special tools. They're not palm rolling or twisting, right? With micro locks, we have the flexibility of doing this ourselves. It is a way easier way to start. There is no special technique that needs to be done. While with sister locks, the consultant or your loctician, they're going to weave each section of hair using either 2-point, 3-points, or 4-point interlocking technique. 2-point is often simpler. It use perfect for finer hair. 3-point or 4-point, it creates stronger, more structure. And each lock for sister locks is about 1/8 to 3/8 inches wide, making them more smaller than traditional locks. And with micro locks, we're just trying to get them as small as possible, right? There is no specific inches that you're really going for in width. It really is up to you on how small you want them. Now, I think one of the very important things you do have to ask yourself when you are trying to consider which one is best for you is, would you rather invest upfront for sister locks or save money with micro locks? It's really up to you on which one is going to be best for you, right? Now, when it comes to maintenance, right? Micro locks, as I said, we have the traditional retwisting, interlocking, or DIY. You can do it yourself. You can go to a loctician. This one is gonna be great for people who want freedom and flexibility, right? With retwisting, you're retwisting every 4 to 6 week, interlocking every 6 to 8 weeks, based on your preference. And if you're doing it yourself, it's really up to you how often you want to retwist. Whereas sister locks, Most individuals who have sister locks, they are going to their consultant, their loctician, to get a retightening every 4 to 8 weeks, you know, to keep that structure and consistency. I don't see a lot of people do DIY with their sister locks. There are a few, but there is less DIY when it comes to sister locks. And I would say if you're an individual who travels a lot, or you're an individual who don't see yourself trying to spend as much finances to try and get your hair done often, or trying to see a loctician, microlocks might be more practical for you, right? Now, when it comes to styling and versatility, y'all, okay, both microlocks and sister locks are super versatile. Let's just start there. You can have updos, curls, braid, protective styles, whatever works for you. Both are versatile in that nature. I just believe that sister locks tend to look more uniform, while microlocks, as I said, really depend on your method and how you started, right? I would definitely try flexi rods or bantu knots. One of my favorite styles on individuals who have sister locks is definitely when they curl it and the curls come out. They're always so cute. But either way, both styles look amazing when it comes to styling. No matter what you're doing, sister lock or micro locks, they just look great, period. If I was to go back and start over my lock journey, I would probably get micro locks, because I just love, as I said, how it looks. I wouldn't do sister locks because, as I said, I'm saving my money up front.
Give it $1.
Yeah, I'm just not doing that, and I honestly don't have the time to sit down. And I think that's another thing you have to take into consideration as well when it comes to sister locks and micro locks, is the time that it is going to take to retwist. I have traditional locks and it takes me like an hour and a half to retwist my hair. With sister lock and micro locks, you're looking at a couple of hours. So that is something that you definitely should take into consideration. It really depends on how much locks you have. But when it comes to styling and versatility, as I said, both are great. Both are going to give you seamless, beautiful styles that you're looking for. Now, as you decide on what path might be best for you, I think a question that you should be asking yourself, or a few questions you should be asking yourself, is do you want structure or flexibility? Don't get me wrong. Both are going to give you structure, both are going to give you flexibility, but micro locks offer more flexibility where you're able to DIY it yourself. You're able to still go to a loctician, is really your choice, whereas with sister locks, it is more structured. You're most likely going to go to a loctician or a consultant who specializes in sister locks to start it or to get it done, you know. So that's something that you have to consider, which goes into the next question. Do you prefer professional maintenance or DIY freedom, right? What's your budget and lifestyle? How much are you willing to spend? So as I said, it's really up to you to decide. And to just wrap things up, let's just give a quick pros and cons to both, right? Just quick and simple so you remember, right? So micro locks, lower cost, DIY flexibility, versatility, accessibility, and creative freedom. The cons would be less uniformity, maintenance learning curve, right? Especially if you're doing it by yourself. Time consuming, it's still going to take a few hours to install, and the risk of inconsistency, especially if you're going from different locticians to different locticians, or if you're doing it by yourself, right? It might not be as consistent as you want it to be. Whereas sister locks, right, you're going to have that professional precision, right? They are installing it with a planted or a patent grid, right? Their uniform look, it's style and versatility, it's lightweight, it's community and support. You have a huge, not saying that the lock community isn't huge, but you know, you do have specific people who are just the sister lock community, right? In terms of cost, it is a higher cost, it is time invasive, but as I said, micro locks is going to take you just the similar amount of time. Maintenance is dependency, especially if you're going to a loctician. You do have DIY limited, and the accessibility is fewer consultants or, you know, loctician who specialize in sister locks. So overall, you really just have to ask yourself, as I said, these questions, you know, what is your budget? What is your lifestyle? what are you willing to invest? How much time are you willing to invest? But overall, both styles is gonna cost you time. Let's just put it there, time. And it's gonna cost you a little bit of finances, whichever way you decide to go. Now, I really hope this video was helpful, quick, straight to the point of just breaking down the difference between micro locks and sister locks. At the end of the day, the truth is both are beautiful, both are versatile, both can be styled in various ways. It's really about choosing what fits your lifestyle, your budget, and your vision for yourself. So let me know in the comments, are you team micro locks or team sister locks? Let me know. You guys know if I was to restart, I'm going team sister locks, but right now I'm team regular locks. Okay, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.